Welcome everybody to another prison news green screen episode of Lockdown 23-1. That's right, and I don't know if you noticed, I got this background up right now because there's some Easter eggs in it. This is the backdrop on my main page, as you can see the Lockdown 23 and logo I put in there, but also, a lot of people don't know. If you look real close, I mean it's zoomed in right here of course, but right here is a picture of missing people. And it was fake to begin with, wasn't no one really missing. But a lot of people don't know, I changed the picture out, and look closely, that's my YouTube picture. Anyways, I don't know, I kind of just found that to be funny. But like I said, today we're going to be speaking on the Tiger King star Joe Exotic. Seems as though he's been pretty busy in the cell block. Not to mention Mr. Todd Chrisley from the TV show Chrisley Knows Best. Seems like he's looking for a new job in prison because he just got canned. So without further ado, let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Alright, as you can see, for the first story, we have got to jump into the tiger's natural environment. The rainforest, of course, isn't it beautiful out here? But the story begins saying that Tiger King star Joe Exotic. Man, oh man, if that ain't a perfect picture, I don't know what is. But it says the Tiger King star Joe Exotic announced he is engaged to a fellow prison inmate. What could this guy possibly look like? We're gonna get there in a second. It says a 63-year-old Netflix personality incarcerated at the Federal Medical Center in Fort Worth shared the beautiful news of his engagement in a post on X. Or if you've been living under a rock, Twitter. But this is the man, Mr. Jorge Marquez, 33. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Jorge, that's Jorge, right? If not, I guess it's just George. Either way, this man is 33 years old and he's from Mexico. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what kind of marriage he got, like an in-house prison marriage or real one with some real legal paperwork. Not quite sure, but either way, look, I've seen some prison weddings. Not legally, I'm talking about in the prison yard, a makeshift wedding. It really happens, I'm not even playing. They'll go pick flowers and make little crowns with them and everything. Either way, Tiger King seems like he's doing all right. He found love in prison. The article continues saying, now, the quest of getting married in prison and getting him asylum, or we be leaving America when both get out. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's how it's worded in the article. Either way, I wish I could have met him long ago, Joe Exotic wrote alongside a photo of himself with his fiancée. During a phone call Wednesday from prison with Fox News Digital, Exotic shared details about his romance with Marquez, their plans for a prison wedding, and his hopes for their future together. Like I said already, I don't know what kind of prison wedding he's speaking on, but the way that he's leaning towards asylum, that means he's doing it 100% legally with paperwork. So I don't know how that goes. If that's the case, then they're going to be doing an official wedding in prison, if I were to guess. Probably with the chaplain and everything inside visitation. That's usually how the authentic weddings take place in prison. Sometimes it's a little different depending on the warden or the security. But Joe Exotic continues saying, from the very day we met, we've spent every minute of every day together, he said. And it just clicks so fast and so sincere. It's just amazing. Exotic also recalled that he and Marquez met about 5 months ago when the 33-year-old, who Exotic said is a Mexican citizen, entered the United States illegally. While speaking with Fox News Digital, Exotic detailed the steps he and Marquez must take to get married in prison. Okay, see, I haven't even read this article. I was just speaking before I got to the end. But he continues saying that we filled out our application yesterday and turned it in. And part of the application process was we had to write letters to the prison and explain why we wanted to get married. And then we filled out the marriage license application for the county and turned it all in. Well, you know, I hate to say this before I continue reading, but this could break his relationship apart. Because I'm pretty sure prisons do not allow, these type of relationships to continue. Especially if you're like legally married or something. If I were to guess, they're going to separate them. Just like family members. You know, a lot of places they try not to let them be housed together. Even though sometimes they get through the cracks. I've done a story where, or not a story, an interview where a guy said that he was locked up in the cell block with his father for a long time. But they weren't supposed to be. slid through the cracks, right? So, who knows? But if I were to guess, they are definitely going to be separated here very shortly. Joe Exotic noted that heterosexuals get married here all day long, but I'm hoping that they respect our constitutional right, and we will still uphold and abide by the rules of the law. Exotic went on to describe what his days are like with Marquez at the Federal Medical Center. Yeah, that's what I would like to know. Who's cooking in that cell? Or the laundry, right? Or the baby oil lathering, I forgot about that one. He says that we cook breakfast and lunch and dinner together, Exotic said of himself and Marquez, because the prison that we're in is not like a prison. It's more like a college campus. There's no bars and there's no doors. You have to live in dorms, and right now he lives in a different one than I do. And then we spend some mornings, some nights together during the day. So I don't think the prison will have any problem. I mean, just by him saying it's more like a college campus should put everything into perspective for you. It's definitely not like a prison I've ever seen. So I can't really speak on it, but he's showing some concern, as you can see, that he hopes that the prison doesn't have any issues with it. But he continues saying, we haven't caused any problems for the prison, so I don't see any reason why they would object to approving our applications. And for anybody that doesn't know, Joe Exotic was convicted in 2019 on charges that include trying to hire 2 different men to kill his rival, animal welfare activist Carol Baskin. Both were featured in the 2020 Netflix series Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. Not gonna lie, I couldn't even finish it with so much madness. But you know, Tiger King still has a lot of fans out there. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this update as much as I did. Even though I'm not really a fan of the guy, he's definitely a character and brings some laughs my way every once in a while. But I do wish him the best of luck, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if old Tiger King somehow later on down the road gets released early from prison. I don't know, you heard it here first. That's just what I'm guessing. Alright, next up, as you can see, we're back in the cell block. And that's typically where you go when you get canned from your prison job. Who got fired this time, you might be asking? Well, if you watch that reality show, Chrisley's Know Best, I think that's the name of it. But Todd Chrisley, that's right. I haven't covered no stories on this individual, believe it or not. A lot of y'all probably don't even know who he is, man. But like I said, him and his whole family was on a reality TV show. And it says Todd was found guilty of 5 counts of bank fraud. Investigators allege that Todd and his wife, Julie, submitted false documents to obtain bank loans. Also, Todd was found guilty of tax evasion, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and conspiracy to commit bank fraud. The couple was convicted in June 2022 after settling their tax evasion charge and paying $147,000. Todd and Julie Chrisley were sentenced to prison. Todd got 12 years and Julie got 7. You know, one thing that I noticed real quick in jail is you don't mess with those white-collar crimes. But man, 12 years in prison and he's already getting fired from his job, or TMZ likes to say canned. I like that word better too. Anyways, the article from TMZ says Todd Chrisley's looking for work in prison. He got canned from his job at the prison chapel, all because he was getting too chatty with certain inmates. The reality TV star's attorney, Jay Surgeon, tells us that Todd was dismissed from his administrative role at the chapel inside of FPC Pensacola, where he's locked up. Of course, an attorney's gonna say he was dismissed from his administrative role, instead of just cooked. Canned, fired, I can't stop saying canned. He says that Todd has been assisting a chaplain, helping set up church services for inmates of different faiths, including Christian, Jewish, and Muslim, and was doing a great job according to Surgeon. However, prison officials apparently saw things differently. Surgeon says Todd was working out of a small office next to the prison's residential drug abuse program. Wow, he has his own office in prison? And while working so close to this program, he was speaking to other inmates that were a part of it. But his attorney says prison officials objected to Todd communicating with them at all. It seems the issue is inmates in this program spend part of their time in prison and part of their time out of prison. It's called RDAP. I've heard of that program before, and I believe there's a YouTuber out there that dedicates his whole channel to it. RDAP Dan or something like that. But he was talking to these inmates in the program, and Surgeon thinks prison officials don't want Todd communicating about his incarceration with part-time inmates who have access to the outside world. And you know what? That makes complete perfect sense. They're tired of old Chrisley complaining about the food and the leaky faucets. Bad publicity old Chrisley bringing to the damn prison compound. I'd keep him on lockdown 23-1, Warden. We can't risk it. He's fraudulent. I don't trust nobody that had fraud charges. You'll always be a scammer to me. I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. I committed plenty fraudulent activities in my past. Might have been on the drug dealer and not the bank, but still, it was fraudulent. But that's a wrap for old Chrisley, you know. Hopefully he gets his job back and stop talking to those half-free inmates. If I were to guess, he was probably just trying to get a couple honey buns or something. Wasn't even talking about nothing. But that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed a couple prison news stories for the day. There was a couple more I wanted to bring to this video, but they're pretty violent. And I don't like to mix comedic stories with violent ones. It just doesn't give the right proportions out. The right proportions out. What does that even mean? Sometimes I just say shit to say it, man, but it sounds good. Comes out clean, right? But let's end it like this, all right? One thing's for sure and two things is for certain. It doesn't matter if you're the Tiger King or you're a reality superstar. You get caught up in the mix, you're gonna get got. Smoke like the salmon of Capistrano. But I'm out here, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. I got plenty more content coming your way. As always, until the next time, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, go ahead, y'all can say it with me now. Stay free, my friends.